Testing the mic. Testing the mic. Okay, that's that. All right. This is my second go round for today. Y'all should be able to hear. Y'all should be able to hear now. Yeah, I was just playing around in worlds I shouldn't be playing in. All right, so this is a continuation from my discussion from this morning, and it's going to be more directed at Judge Witt. And I'll deal with the particulars later on. Hey, Sheed. All right. Hope you subbed up because I just changed it to subscribers. All right. So here we go. We're on to the next phase of this mistrial discussion because we got to the phase earlier where we discussed, or I shared with you my thoughts. Oh, if my mouth doesn't say it, my face definitely will. People that's been true to my experience on the YouTube definitely know what that means. Okay, so I want to go now on into phase 2 of this from yesterday's court case or court activities. And I think I'm going to take us to a point in the video. I'm going to go to that one. Is it going to? Well, we're going to have to see if we have sound. Share sound. Optimize the video. Okay. So I think I'm going to go to another place. Let me see how it looks for y'all. Give me a second. Hi, Coranza. From my perspective, she's worse than Glanville. So, really, you're going to be mad at me. I don't see her as being worse than Glanville. Glansville, to be quite honest. But I can see because, all right, first full disclosure. I know that yesterday I was at work, so I had limited view of this. And if you know me, then you know me. I don't like to discuss things based on other people's opinions of it. I don't like to review other people's commentary or stuff because I like to have my fresh opinion on how I see things or my perspective on it. So let's go to the trial. There are points yesterday when I felt like she secretly is rooting for the prosecution. And when she gets caught, she's on the record definitely clearing out herself. And it's observed, you can observe it in her actions when she's explaining how the inmates or the incarcerated individuals were transported back. And that would be the dude. Hold on a second. I'm trying to neatly organize my stuff here. This is my YSL file folder for now. I think it was whoever's BJ and Mr. Mitchell that they were sending Mr. Mitchell back, right? And she knew that Mr. Mitchell was going back because she's the judge. The reason why the deputies came to her is because there must have been an order to produce them, and there has to be an order to send them back. Now you have to ask somebody somebody that deals with courts or whatever, but I'm sure that there must have been a process in place that they needed to speak, or a process in place that they needed to speak to the judge and make the judge aware of that they were shipping these guys back. And she alludes to it. And then she says, I had my Halikian, whatever that word is, having my staff try to pull them back or whatever. I don't really care at this point. But let's go on. So I'm just fast forwarding. Shard Abasi got a chance to interview the guy with the cowboy hat. He just sat there with his cowboy hat. This is so Southern for me. But anyway, then Shard got to come up there and ask him some questions about the process. Then Steele came up and asked some questions about videotapes. And then I guess this guy came back to do some redirects. Tell me if you hear it. Oh, he's looking at something. I can't. I'm glad I found this player because I
She said
can't.
that little Rod told her that BJ took his gun. Mitchell took his gun.
Now, I also want to talk to you about a question that Ms. Abbasi asked you as it related to describing, as you spoke with Ms. Smith, that this was an ambush. Do you remember her asking you about that, using the term ambush?
I remember using that term. Can you tell me where to look? I don't recall it in the interview.
No, what I'm asking you is during your cross-examination, Ms. Abbasi had asked you some questions as it related to you describing or using the term ambush. Do you remember that?
Yes.
And can you tell the jurors or describe to the jurors why your investigation and through your investigation, tell the jurors why you called it an ambush?
Because it was.
It wasn't a robbery. The shooters never approached the vehicle. They were lured to a certain spot.
Let me see how it sounds over here. Because it was. Ugh. I'm sorry. I'm so loud. I'm so loud. It's my mic. It don't know how to slow down. I be trying to make it lower. Anyway, because it was. All right. So moving on. I don't know why the young ladies weren't charged in this activity. Or maybe the question should be asked, were the young ladies charged? All right. Anyway, they go on from there with this dude. Let me go down the line. He's off the bench. He's off the witness stand. Let's see what happens here. I didn't timestamp it while I was listening to it. Did I mute something? He should have muted. Such a gentleman. There was something though, as he was up there on the stand, that was going through my head though. I just felt like he was like, hola. I just felt like he was like, these people, this is what this community does. Yeah. I should have named it a watch party watching for a mistrial. Ooh. oh, now people are gonna have a watch party for a mistrial. I just gave it to folks a title. All right, let's see what this is about right here.
The witness who's testifying says the YFN expletives are at your house. And then a couple lines later, he says, just stay out of their way, bro. Too much going on. I'll come light that bitch up if they play with you. So considering that we put testimony in about, testifying says the mother of Mr. Bennett's home, who is a member of that same YFN group that was shot twice. We've been discussing this back and forth rivalry quite extensively. So the fact that he's talking about explicitly stating the YFN group and he's going to come light it up in reference to shooting either at or towards those people, I think it's quite relevant, and he's testifying in the stand. So any questions or explanation he wants to give for that, he most certainly can.
So what about the other part of the conversation, though? Are you not offering that part? Going to redact that part?
So, Your Honor, this is a back and forth.
Here's the problem. This is the only prosecution or state that I know of that doesn't know the meaning of redaction.
Conversation that he has with this other individual. And so I don't know what specifically, I mean, the bottom three, you know, I don't know what specific line that defense is stating is not needed for the context of what Mr. Lee stated here.
Well, certainly the last bit of it isn't needed, but I mean, not since all that X has been happening. We don't know who this is, and that
The judge is doing
indicative
X's.
that stuff's been going down.
Yes, Your Honor. And the state, what I just read and what's highlighted is what the state, that's why we included this.
Okay, and I'm asking if you're going to redact it, because if you throw that up on the screen, anybody, I know that the highlighted part is what you're highlighting, but the rest of it is easily visible.
Yes,
so
Your
are you
Honor.
going to redact?
We can redact it and keep that just the username so it doesn't appear that he's just speaking to himself.
Okay.
And we will take out where he says, everything else he says. It's,
This is the problem they have. When they white out things, they white it out with white. They white it out. And I feel like documents, this is just my opinion, I don't know why it's going down in this case. I feel like any kind of evidence that you're going to submit that is not the true evidence that's been redacted, there should be an indicator that it's been redacted. So yesterday I was talking about how to use the whiteout, right? But in the office for us, we also use a black Sharpie marker to cross out what we don't want in the document. We go and make a nice little box around it, color it in with the little black marker. It's just weird. The things around here
that's
is
perfectly
weird.
fine, Your Honor.
All right.
Oh no, they cuss in court.
Page 7.
They cuss in court if it's a direct quote, because they are supposed to curse in the courtroom because they are entering this they are entering it as evidence. And the only evidence that's admissible in our current judicial system is evidence that the court reporter types into the record. If she had blacked out the document yesterday and redacted it with a black marker, she would have easily have known which document was redacted to put before the client. I'm gonna give Hilton, unfortunately, the benefit of the doubt that she whited this out, but I'm gonna take judicial notice over here for Mo, that if I was attending Hilton School, I would want a refund of my money. I'm just being real. But I'm not about to go through those kind of motions. I want to go to when the dude was on the stand.
Any of the other exhibits that are contained within this Wooney Lee
Yes, Your Honor, page 5, 40, November. Just have an objection unless they can lay the foundation because Money Lee is tagged, but I don't know who tagged him.
What is this a picture of? In
It's a picture of him sitting in the courtroom during Mr. Ryan's trial.
45?
No, 40, November, page 5.
This is very interesting. I want to hear this again because I heard this briefly yesterday and it had to do with somebody sending a threat to Mariah, the liar. You know how I feel about those people, but I don't really think Mariah was a liar. I think that Mariah was in too deep.
Oh, page 5. 40. Okay, sorry.
Your Honor, we actually redacted all of the other content that was actually on this post because I believe Mr. Lee would say that is him while he was sitting in the courtroom. This was during Mr. Ryan, Mr. Blaylock's initial trial of the murder of Mr. Holmes. And our initial understanding, and he has said something different today, was that he was in court when the witness who testified yesterday, Ms. Smith, was testifying and sent her a brain emoji and a rat emoji. And so this was evidence of him being in court. Okay. However, he has said to me today that he was not present during her testimony, but this does show that he had actually went to court that day. So things have changed just slightly.
Now, this concerned me, and I'm glad that I'm hearing it again over for myself. Because Wu Lee's, whoever his name, what is it? Slime Shorty, is it Slime? Is his name Slime Life Shorty? What's the dude's name? I have to get this together. Yeah, so Mr. Slime Life Shorty, right? Which is, I'm not even gonna go with. We're dealing with young Slime Life, and his name is Slime Life Shorty. All right, but I'm not gonna say he's part of the gang. But I'm just gonna say there's a coincidence in the name. There seems to be some facts here that's a little bit troubling. They're making it sound like he threatened the Smith girl. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. She's making it sound like he threatened the Smith girl, and they don't seem to like have a understanding, or I'm going to use a terminology, a meeting of the mind. And that to me is when everybody's on the same page. So this witness was probably about to really be put on heat on the stand because she's already asserting that he threatened, he intimidated, he was sending intimidating messages to Mariah. Even though I think you're going to see some objections later on, but let's go.
Give his testimony, but at one point he was in court watching that trial, and essentially he sent these emojis to Ms. Smith, and so someone captured him on video and tagged him in it, along with the tag. The post also reads "Free Little Bolly, Free Little Rod." We've taken those parts out of it because the individual who posted it is not.
And I'm gonna tell you something, right? This free this person, free that person. I do agree with the judge. She's gonna say something later on, but I just want to be clear. Hey, Rome. I want to say Rome, Shaw, Ray. Oh Lord, Ray. Hey, hi, Ray. This thing is just weird to me.
I'm not following, I follow what this is a post of, but I'm not following why you're going to be using it. Or I don't understand what you're saying, because you're talking about his testimony and his statements changing. So what do you mean?
So
Why would you be how would this come up at all?
To show that this was a photo of him in court
Okay.
when we believe when the witness was testifying, and based upon what Ms. Smith advised us, I believe, or matter of fact, his phone was taken on the day that the posts were made. So, back in 2021, during the trial of the case, we believe that Mr. Lee was present in court.
When
While
was
in
the-
court,
Yes. And that-
Sometimes I feel like, hey, dear woke Christian and Shantae, drive carefully, just listen with your good ears. This is cray cray for me right now. That she is just gonna be like, she's just an allegation having person. And we would say it a different kind of way, but she's just an allegation having person.
while in court, he sent those emojis?
he posted those emojis. We believe he sent them while in court. He posted.
We believe he sent them while he was in court. I thought you confiscated his phone. What did the phone show you that he did? I don't know.
Those emojis. Whether or not Ms. Smith was on the stand is something he's saying. He never saw her on the stand. That's what he is saying. What we know is he was in court when those emojis were posted. Whether or not she was on the stand or not, we don't know. But he was present in court, we believe, when those emojis were posted. And so this was just proof of the fact that he was sitting in court in or around the time that these subsequent messages that are coming after this post were posted.
How are you? This is a picture of him in courtroom 7E, apparently.
Yes.
How are you proving that it is during?
This is crazy though. I thought you can't have your cell phones in these courtrooms, right? But he had a cell phone in 7E. But then again, this was 2021.
Mr. Ryan's trial. Am I missing something?
No, because evidence only makes sense in Hilton's head. She has this big, elaborate conspiracy that she has written all the books on conspiracies. And this is just another one when it comes down to these gang members. And then these gang members, and I'm going to say purported gang members that she wants the world to believe are gang members. So this is a figmentation of her own imagination. And I'm not saying it to be facetious. I'm just saying it as I see it from how she tells this story.
He is a part of our.
Are you going to be able to establish when this picture was taken?
Yes, I believe he will. He will admit that he went to the trial.
Okay, he will admit that he went to the trial, and this is very integral right here for you to really listen to. Hilton is always prepared to put somebody to testify on what she believes they're going to say and admit to. So is this part of his plea deal? Anybody seen the plea deal? Does he admit to being in court sending emojis of brains and rats to a Mariah the liar? Like, we just need to know, is this what she has evidence of? And will he be impeached later down the line during his testimony about this? And I'm going to tell y'all right now, my take on it, I'm just still presenting this as if she's going down the line and he's coming back on there to testify.
Saw the trial himself.
And
I believe he will admit that.
Why will you need this picture?
To show proof of those things. The same way we have a responding officer who goes to a scene.
So you're going to put it up and then say, is this you in court during the Ryan Blaylock trial?
Yes.
Okay. And I guess if he says no, he says no. Okay.
Okay. So she's putting it up to show that he was in the courtroom, but it's supposed to prove that he sent rat emojis and brain emojis. But the question is, where's the rat and brain emoji text to evidence that this is what he did?
So in terms of the objection, then
If they lay the foundation,
I'm not sure what you mean by if they lay the foundation. So they're going to present it to him and say, is this you in court during the trial? And he'll either say yes or he'll say no.
right, if he puts himself there at the date and the time that they're saying, then that's this foundation. But if he doesn't, I don't. If he says no, then it shouldn't come in because he.
So you know what I was thinking? None of these people, because they're so used to doing what they're doing right now with Fonnie Willis, is discussing a plea deal, that they don't know how to try a case. None of them. And, and I'm sorry that I'm at both sides saying that both sides are. This is an evidentiary hearing where you are discussing how the evidence is going to be submitted. So yes, lady, if she doesn't lay the foundation, he says no, right? I wasn't at the courthouse. Then she can use this evidence to say he was at the courthouse. That's why you're having this session right here to discuss how does this item of evidence gets before the court. If he says yes, he was there, then there should be no reason to present it, and you should be able to object if she wants to present it, because she was presenting it, or she claims she wanted to show him that he was sitting in the courthouse, but she's not showing us a text message where he got a rat or a brain up on there.
Didn't lay the foundation.
I agree. Okay, so that's that one. What else?
And then the next one, 41 November. That's just a screenshot of his Instagram.
40. Okay.
I'm trying to look to see how she got herself in trouble with his Instagram post that she actually, like, I don't know why the Instagram post that she had him read in the first place was relevant for anything. And I think that that's what the issue for me was why were they at that picture? So let's see.
Hang on. All right, and so what is this, a relevance objection?
Correct.
Your Honor, so for 41 and this screenshot was taken along with 42 and 43 and on the day that we learned of the emojis being sent to Ms. Smith. And so this captured that this was his Instagram account direct messaging the witness, Ms. Smith, with these emojis. And so 41 and then 42 and 43 and then establish that.
So that would be.
I am sorry that I am not following you, but are you saying that day in court, his phone was confiscated in screenshots?
The judge already identified that it's courtroom 7. So the judge done looked at the post and know which courtroom he was in. But the question is, why is this relevant?
From his phone were taken?
So we learned about the emojis being taken.
Thank you.
Our office then went to his actual page and they were able to, excuse me.
Okay, because you said something about his phone having been taken, but
His phone was also taken in court, separate and apart from being able
Okay.
to capture the images from his Instagram page that showed him communicating with the witness.
all right,
And I
so walk me through what on 41 NN shows him communicating with Ms. Smith. And I'm sure this is me just being from a different generation than the Instagram generation, but
And I misspoke. So 41NN, when the witness reached out to our office, she screenshotted 41NN, which is his page. Then she also screenshotted 42NN to show the individuals who are following her, which it shows Mr. Lee's Instagram handle. And then she also screenshotted and sent to us 43NN, which is the actual.
Okay, so nobody heard a block. I'm just checking, right? Because I block people I don't want following me. Actually, I even block my family members because I don't want the internet following them. So they never heard a block.
Direct message he sent, which is of the brain,
which is what?
an emoji of a brain. He also sent an emoji of a rat, but that emoji was deleted prior to the witness being able to screenshot that as well.
Okay. And so how are you
What does the brain symbolize as an emoji? I know what the rat symbolizes, but what does the brain symbolize?
getting these things in?
As a part of his plea agreement, one of the things he admitted to was the fact that he sent the emoji. So this is just proof of that fact that he sent them.
So now, if she asks him a question on direct examination, hey, did you send Mariah Delia brain emoji and a rat emoji? While you was in court listening to this case, and he says no, then he would be violating his plea agreement.
The first two in then.
Because this is
He
his.
admitted that he sent a screenshot of a brain.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
And a
so
rat emoji.
If he denies that on the stand, you'll show him this and is that what you're saying?
No, if he admits or denies, this is just proof of it the same
Okay.
way of
All right. So then.
No,
I guess
lady, if he admits it, you're going to be denied from showing it. But if he lies, inconsistent with what he wrote on the paper, then I guess you're going to show it to impeach him.
I understand 43 NN and I guess 42 NN.
The victim was the decedent did have a brain injury.
because this is her page. So you have to be able to show that.
How are you going to show this is her page?
So
Like that would have been something you asked her while she was on the stand.
Ooh, mic drop. You know why they couldn't ask her while she was on the stand? Because probably the person that was doing the cross-exam, that was doing the direct of her, which was Abati, didn't know nothing about this. And if you look at him sitting over here, he look like he don't really care.
Her Instagram records are
So-
Blessed Auntie.
on,
What?
Her Instagram was Blessed Auntie or Blessed Auntie.
The guy testified her Instagram was BLESAUNTIE. That's what he testified her Instagram was.
That's what the ADA Hiles testified to.
that was her Instagram in 2019. The trial was in 2021. So she changed her Instagram.
But how are you going to show that this is her Instagram?
He admits to who he sent it to.
No,
So
sorry, boo. Sorry, boo boo. Sorry, boo boo. I'm sorry, boo boo. Your only witness who you had up there testifying, Mr. Hilly, Hile, he said that her thing was BLESSAUNTIE. And if it wasn't him, then it was the dude with the the detective with the cowboy suit from Texas Ranger.
he is admitting that he sent this brain emoji, which is from Slime Life Shawty.
I'm not asking about 43NN. I'm asking about 41 and 42NN. I'm sorry to not be clear about that.
So 42 and then shows that he is someone on her page.
How is this her? How are you going to show this is her page?
Her pictures are at the top of the page, Your Honor. That first picture is the young lady who was here yesterday.
Is that just how everybody's Instagram looks? They have pictures of themselves at the top of the page, and so everybody who's young knows, oh, that's so-and-so's Instagram?
Yes.
Or can you post whatever you want at the top of your page? Or could somebody else have posted her picture at the top of their page?
No.
I mean, it doesn't.
Notice who came and took the seat. I don't remember her name, but it's the nice looking investigator. No, she's not. She's a lawyer, right? She's a she in there explaining it to them. So now this is leading me to look at something else that I never looked at before. Hilton doesn't really know the technology herself.
I mean, I could pull up a picture of Elvis and put it. I mean, I actually don't know that.
Your page.
I think I probably could
So this,
find my Instagram and put a picture of whomever I want on there. But I don't know that.
so
The course
Your
correction,
Honor, this,
you can put whatever
right.
image you want to on your page.
So how does this establish, how
Uh-oh. Is that the voice of Adams? Adams is like, you can put anybody's picture on there. How do we know? But here's the thing. Mariah the liar is up here putting together. She's up here. I need to be shot. But she's up here doing her own investigation and taking it to the DA. What are y'all doing for witness protection, DA? I just need to know. What are y'all doing?
are you going to be like, okay, see, this is her
this is
page.
her Instagram story. So at the top of this story are pictures, Instagram videos or pictures that she posted on her story, which lasts 24 hours. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 images on the top of 42 and then.
That is correct. This is Miss McKnight. I love her. In another lifetime, she needs to get away from these people before bad habits rub off quickly.
When you actually, you can't see it as well on here, but when you have it on the screen, you
Imagine telling somebody, I'm about to put some evidence up, but you can't see it well on here. You can't see it well on here, but I'm just going to let you see it. This is crazy. This is crazy to me. Like, this is so unreal.
zoom in, and that is her.
So you can't see it well on here, but we should zoom in on it. But this is what we're going to put before the jurors.
I mean, I believe that's probably a picture of her.
So then what she sent to us is a screenshot of her Instagram stories, and she could see who was viewing her stories at the time.
Right, but you didn't ask her yesterday when you had her, hey, are these 2 screenshots that you sent us back in the day from your Instagram? So how are you going to establish that this is from her Instagram?
Your Honor, I think circumstantially from the fact that he's going to admit that.
No, this is a woman. This is part of Hilton's problem. She doesn't know evidence. Like, she doesn't know how to admit evidence in a case. I didn't like this. This is stuff I can't hear while I'm at work. But OMG.
He sent it to her that he is on 42NN. You see an individual with the same vanity name that he has viewing her page, that there's pictures of her at the top of the page, and then 43NN showing the slime, showing his same vanity name with the brain emoji.
What
I
does
believe
41 show at all?
41 is simply just shows that this was his Instagram page. Slime Life Shorty is Mr. Lee's vanity name. So this is just the front of his.
All right, we already know that. Don't we know that from some other witness already? So do you need?
we know that Slime Life Shorty is Winnie Lee, but the individual is taking the stand, so we can.
Fine, you can say, is this your Instagram page? And I guess you can ask him if 42 is her Instagram page that he followed. But if he says no, then I think you're stuck with that answer.
I think you had a better solution. Why didn't she introduce this lady's Instagram to her while she was testifying? Because this is another example of not having a cohesive case, not preparing your case, not preparing your examination of your witnesses. Because this would have been something that you easily introduced through Mariah the liar, and then you would have been able to now use it later on because it's hers, or she would have authenticated that it was hers. You didn't even ask her about this process. Let's just look at that for a moment. Why Pee Wee Herman, which to me is Mr. Abati, why did he do this line of cross-examination? Because it's not relevant. It's overkill. You can't go in for every single point of every single issue. Now, if you wanted to say, because we do believe Mariah the liar was intimidated in this process, she said her parents' house was shot up. She said her her sister was threatened at work several times. And she talks about the consequences. This was along the line of the consequences that she was having as being a result of being the lit chick who got into the car with BJ and Red and their friend and ended up doing an ambush. And you know what? Not for nothing. I listened to some younger people talk about this, and they feel like the girls might have been the ones that, when they ran out the car, did the poo poo and pop pow, poo poo, whatever. So they sus. That's what the streets are saying. So just imagine we just going by what Mariah the liar said.
Okay. And then 43, sort of the same thing.
Are we not surprised?
Okay, what else?
That's it on behalf of Mr. Ryan, Your Honor. Thank you.
Anybody else with any objections to any of
One of the
these
key
in
things about this witness, Mr. Shorty, what is Slime Life Shorty, is that he is a connector to all of these people who are not supposed to be gang members. He went to this guy's trial, right? He's in this guy's age group. He did music with with some of the older guys, et cetera, et cetera. He is what you call a connector. He's a link in a case that has a lot of missing links.
this compilation?
Nothing further from Mr. Williams, Your Honor.
Okay. Nobody else. Okay.
Now, this is
ready
very important for us to understand. And I know I got Westmoreland fans up in here, but this is the evidentiary hearing where they're going over the Instagram posts that are going to be admitted. This is the part where nobody has anything else to say until they see the actual pictures that are about to come up. I did miss the part where it's earlier in the day. I'm gonna have to find it because I need to connect my dots over here. When the judge was asking them to write a stipulation about the quays. And that's very important, writing a stipulation, because people hear it at the end when it looks like, let's just say, Judge Witt had bad optics after this moment. With everything from this section right here is downhill for her. She had bad optics all the way around.
The jury? Yeah.
Hello, Becky.
Question. Y'all didn't want that witness shown, and you're about to put up a picture of her.
Hello. Where you been? They done put up evidence with her name, with her signing off on the picture. Hello. So you didn't want her face shown, but now you got her face shown. Like now you're about to show her face. This is so for people that are criticizing wit. This is part of the sloppiness. And when she's frustrated later on, and she has an excited utterance about Hilton's sloppiness. Look at how she's pointing this out before it gets before people. I'll just go back 10 seconds so y'all can hear that because I might have interrupted somebody in the midst of their crap.
Y'all didn't want that witness shown, and you're about to put up a picture of her.
We're not, Your Honor.
Okay. Let's get the jury in.
All right, so now we get in the jury. So we just go over here. Hey,
Did you ever
Shorty.
hear of a gang called Rock Crew?
I heard of it growing up. I didn't know if it was a gang or what it was, but yeah, I know what it is.
And how did you know about Rock Crew?
Because they had popular songs.
What were some?
Yo, so homie came right in here and he done now made every gang that these people been talking about for the last 150 trial days. He done made them into a music company too.
Their songs that they had that were popular?
I don't know by heart right now. Okay. I just knew like.
In all fairness, he didn't remember his own song, so I can't expect him to remember anybody else's.
There was the music back then.
Do you know who were some of the artists who were with Rock Crew?
One of them, Big Boo.
And he was he performing as a hip hop artist?
Yeah.
Anyone else?
It was some younger people too, like my friends and stuff.
Who were some of the younger people?
They locked up or dead.
Notice a theme here. He's about to out as the people in his conspiracy. They either locked up or dead.
Do you have names of some of those individuals?
Let me see. My partners who locked up right now, twin, they used to rap.
Do you know their given name or you?
Their first and last name?
Or their first name?
Nah.
Okay. Anyone else outside of twin?
Rudy. He rapped too back then when we was younger.
Anyone else you can think of?
As of right now, yeah, that's it, I think.
Now, you just spoke about Big Boo. Did you know his given name?
His real name? No.
Okay. And did you have your own personal relationship with Big Boo?
Yeah, when I got older.
All right.
Now, did there come a time when you were younger that some members of Rock Crew began calling themselves YSL?
Mm-hmm.
You said mm-hmm?
You asking me that? Or
Yes.
you what?
I'm asking you.
Can you say it again?
Sure. As you got older, were there members of Rock Crew who then became members of YSL?
Yes.
You think he got a story behind that? Let's see.
Who were those some of those individuals?
Everybody, because YSL music took off and rock crew music died, or this, I don't know, Boo got old, so I don't know.
Okay, so if we listen to his story, right? Because this is his truth. He's saying that Rock Crew was some kind of music group that was led by somebody Boo, and this group YSL now came out of it, branched out, and made their own music. That's what I hear him to say.
So who are some of these people? You're saying everybody. So who's everybody who was a part of the music?
Basically, everybody from my neighborhood.
So everybody from your neighborhood was doing music?
There's a lot of people doing music from my neighborhood, though, but not everybody was doing music, though. I'm just saying, like, everybody in the whole, all the people that were rapping or doing music or supported the music was on some YSL stuff now. Like, it wasn't rapping Rock Crew or under that name.
Okay. So tell me some of the people that we're talking about.
Me, myself.
Okay.
My friends who I just told you about. Jeffrey. I can't think of everybody's name.
And what does YSL stand for?
This is the best answer of the week for me. Let's find out what YSL stands for.
It has multiple meanings.
Tell me some of the meanings.
Say it has multiple meanings, definitions, or what it stands for.
So tell me some of the meanings.
Young stoner life, young slime life, young successful lifestyle. I think that's all I can remember right now.
So let's talk about young stoner life. Mm-hmm. When do you distinguish between young stoner life, young slime life, and young successful lifestyle?
You said when? Did I?
Yeah, how do you distinguish between the two? When do you use young stoner life versus young slime life?
Slime part is just like the lingo of it. Like, we just call each other or something. You wouldn't call your friend or something like, stoner, what's up, stoner? We just say like, what's up, slime, or something. So that's how I think young slime life is used.
I wouldn't be calling myself a stoner either if you listen to his definition of stoner.
Stoner life, from what I know, was I'm just say like a way of life as far as music. I mean, not the music, but like getting high or.
He said, getting high. This is Percocets in every set.
Like a hippie, or I don't know.
And outside of the music, is YSL a gang?
You said outside of the music?
Yes, sir.
Some people treat it like that.
What do you treat it as?
I treated it that way before.
You treated it as a gang before?
Yeah.
Okay. When did you stop treating it as a gang?
I don't know. I don't remember. I don't know.
You just don't remember. And when you say you treated it as a gang, what do you mean?
I don't really know. I never thought about that. I don't know how to answer that.
How old?
All right, just a word of advice. You better find an answer for this because I'm sure this is one of the questions in that plea agreement.
Were you when you joined YSL the gang?
Can you tell me what you mean by like join? Like, are you talking about?
What would you consider joining?
I'm saying, like, do you mean join, like, because you know, like, to get in the game, you join the gang, like, you get beat up or something like that.
How did you become a member of YSL?
My music got popping, and I became a known face in my neighborhood, and I started coming around and going to studios and stuff.
So was that how you became a part of the gang YSL, or that's how you became affiliated with the music of YSL?
I'm gonna say that's how I became affiliate of the music of YSL. But as far as joining a gang or something like that, I never like joined. We just all grew up together. There was no time to join or when I joined. We just all know each other from school and grew up together and stuff like that. But I mean, I came around like I forgot, was 2019 or 18, one of those years, when I came around as far as like officially being YSL.
How did you become officially YSL?
Just coming around more and rapping.
Notice he didn't have no initiation fees. He didn't have no requirement to go do something, a criminal act. All he had to do was come around and do what they did in common, what formulated the group YSL, and that was do the music.
Is everyone that is affiliated with, and I'm talking specifically the gang YSL, rappers?
Some people.
So, but not everyone?
Some people rap. A lot of people rap, but everybody don't take it serious. Some people just rap just because they want to rap, because they want to follow the trend.
I definitely understand that, but I want to ask specifically, is everyone who's a part of YSL a gang trying to rap or rappers?
Can you say it again?
Sure. Is everyone who is a part of YSL the gang rapping or tries to be rappers?
I don't know. I think so. Everybody try to rap.
Is there anyone in YSL the gang who's not trying to rap?
Yeah. I think.
Now I'm going to ask if you know a few people, okay? Do you know Marquavius Huey?
Yeah.
Okay. And how do you know him?
I didn't know his real name until now, until this trial, but how do I know him? Me and his little brother went to school together. Me and his little brother was in the same class, and I always just knew he had a big brother named Quay. I seen him a couple times, stuff like that.
And is that what you called him, Quay?
Yeah, I think that's what his name used to be back then.
This is the worst part about this. This is that generational beef that Shannon mentioned about Woody. See, this young man right here was, let me fix his face because I don't want him to look like that while we're talking. Because he already looked like he on Percocets in every set. This young man had a brother. This young man was friends of Quay's brother. So he ain't even in Quay's zone.
School with his little brother. Do you know how old he is, Quay?
Quay, how old are you?
Yeah.
No.
Did you ever used to hang out with Quay?
When?
At any time?
Not growing up. He came to the studio with me a couple times. That's it. We never hung out outside of the studio.
When did you start seeing him around the studio? About, if we're in 2024, how long ago was that?
I don't know. I can't remember the exact date.
And do you see him in the courtroom today?
Yeah.
Okay. If you could just identify him by article of clothing he's wearing.
You say identify what?
I'm sorry.
Just know who you are.
Let's go to the next person.
And do you have a friendship or relationship with him?
Not a strong bond, but we know each other.
Oh, let me see who he knows. Hold up.
Or relationship with him? And do you have a friendship or relationship with him?
With him longer, I think, since I was a kid. We didn't hang though, but I just knew who he was. I was younger than him though.
Oh, how long have you known Quay?
I knew him longer, I think, since I was a kid. We didn't hang though, but I just knew who he was. I was younger than him though.
And do you have a friendship or relationship with him?
Not a strong bond, but we know each other.
And do you see him here today?
No, actually. Oh yeah, I see him now.
And you identify him as well?
I can't see what he got on. He just got dreads up.
Okay.
In the air.
Oh, he's talking about Nickel.
Is he towards the back of the room, the front of the room, or somewhere?
The back.
Is he sitting in between anyone?
Yeah, I think his lawyer.
You're not let the record reflect that he's identifying.
It's really not. That could be a couple of different people.
There's two lawyers right there. He right there, and there's a lady next to him on the left side of him.
Right now, let the record
All
reflect.
right. It'll so reflect.
Do you know someone named Shannon?
Yes.
And do you call him Shannon?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you call him anything else or just Shannon?
I think I just say Shannon. I don't know.
How long have you known Shannon?
I don't remember. I don't remember when I met him.
Is it longer than you've known Quay, the two Quays?
No.
Shorter than that?
Yeah.
And what is your relationship like, if any, with him?
Now?
Let's talk about before now.
We're cool.
Are you still cool now?
I don't know him right now. He's been locked up for a couple of years. Well, I ain't supposed to say that.
Disregard.
I just can't. Which one was this? I got so lost.
And just listen to the question I ask you, okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Do you know someone by the name of Yak?
Yes.
How long?
Got a question.
Do you want to talk to your lawyer?
No, I'm just trying to see. I ain't supposed to say that or something. Why?
Don't worry about it. Just move on to the next question.
All right.
Now, people are saying that because the judge said, don't worry about it, go on to the next question. This is her being in furtherance of the conspiracy against the YSL team members. We got a RICO within a RICO. We got the prosecutors with the judges ganging up on the defendant. Is how the general public is looking at this. I just want to tell you that. I think Hilton did this on purpose. She spent 5 minutes on Quay. But we'll see.
You know yet?
I don't remember when I met him. I don't know. I don't remember.
Is it longer than you know any of these other people? The first 3 people I asked you about.
Not longer than I knew Quays.
Okay.
I knew them when I was younger.
Okay.
I probably met Yak when I was about 18, 19, 18. When I started rapping seriously.
Next, Jeffrey Williams. How long have you known Mr. Williams?
Like the same thing as Yak.
Okay. And then Rodalius Ryan.
I've known him since a kid.
Are you older or younger than him?
Older.
Do you know how much older you are?
Not exactly. A couple of years though.
And do you have a nickname for him?
I can't hear you.
Do you have a nickname for him?
A nickname that I have for him?
Do you call him something?
Oh, Leroy.
What is your relationship like with? What is your relationship like? Good, bad, indifferent. What is your relationship like with Little Rod?
Right now?
Just period.
Oh, good relationship.
And do you see Shannon, Diamante, Jeffrey, and Rodalius in the courtroom today?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Notice, defense attorney started stipulating at this point that their client was in the room because they didn't want their client to be pointed out no more to avoid the question of, well, when's the last time you spoke to this dude? Anyway, I'm gonna hop on, but whenever I see this guy, I like this guy. He's just always so cool with me. All right, let's go on.
Do you know someone by the name of Darius Ford?
Yes, I do.
All right. And when he was living, how long had you known him?
Like all my life.
Did you all grow up together?
No.
How did you know him all your life?
My brother was best friends with his big brother.
Okay.
And they played sports together, so I always knew him when I was a little kid.
Again, another generational thing here. People that had got funding in order to help prevent the youth from being part of gangs, instead of using the money to as a preventative measure to keep them out of the jail system, they're using it now at the back end as a method to put them into the jail system. A very messed up dynamic.
What about Christian McMillan?
What about him?
Do you know him?
Yes.
All right. What you call him?
Christian.
Okay. How long had you known him?
Since a kid.
And what about Devontae Beebe?
Mm-hmm.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
How'd you know him?
We grew up together.
Right. And then last, Demekion Garlington.
Who?
Demekion Garlington.
You asked me how long did I know him?
Do you know him?
I know him. Yeah, I know him.
And how do you know him?
I don't even know how I know him.
And does he have a nickname?
D.
Now, do you have any tattoos, Mr. Amelie?
Yes.
And specifically, I want to ask, do you have any tattoos with the wording Rudy?
Yes.
Okay. And who is Rudy?
My little brother.
Is he your biological little brother or someone you call your little brother?
I just call him my little brother.
And your tattoo with Rudy, what, if anything, does it say?
Long live Rudy.
On live, Rudy?
Long live.
And within the Cleveland Avenue area, do some people call themselves the Rudy Gang?
You said do some people call themselves that?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. It's not really a gang though.
Okay. What's this in tell the jury about the Rudy Gang?
His family made that for him. They're just showing that they for him. Like they're doing it for him. I don't know. They just said gang.
Okay. Now, do you have social media?
Yeah.
And specifically, do you have Instagram?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. What is your IG handle?
Slime Light Shopping.
how long have you had that Instagram handle?
I don't remember. When I made it, I don't know.
We're in 2024. Did you have it last year?
This is a tactic of their prosecutors when they are doing direct examination. They always go to the jugular of the person on the stand by bringing up a deceased person in their life that they know definitely had an impact. This is to get you in your most vulnerable moment. I think he did a great job not dropping a tear for the homie who ain't there. And I think he did a great job trying to just, he did, it's as simple as Booty Gang, right? The family is honoring the memory of their loved one. See, and you know, oh, I could say this now, because there's something in the Black and brown people's structure, right? How we love and how we build family or how we build, it's not an organization, but how we build our family relationships with people that are not blood relatives to you. We build long-lasting relationships. We build additional cousins and brothers and sisters. You know, that's an innate part of being us, right? This is what we've known to do, is be familiar with each other and build family. A lot of other cultures don't build family outside of the people that they don't make those kind of good connections. They do make other connections when it comes down to financial and standing together, you know. But in our structure, especially if you come from poverty, right? Some of the richest people are unhappy, but some of the poorest people are full of joy. And that's because we understand that, you know, when the morning time comes, it's gonna be a different day. So this building family and this showing it, I did appreciate from him as he was explaining himself. Yeah, the extended family. I really understood what he said, but this was her trying to get him off his A game.
Yeah.
No, let me ask you a better question. From the time you got to the music industry in 2018, have you had that Instagram handle?
Yeah.
What is your primary purpose of using Instagram?
My primary purpose.
Because he can. Because he can. Everybody that uses Instagram now has got a problem because he can.
Just social media.
But to be honest, after seeing all this stuff going down and how they pull your records and stuff, I'm definitely not using these things unless I really need to.
I think I would have had an Instagram whether I rap or not. So just social media.
And have you used IG to post photos?
Yes.
Have you used IG to direct message people?
Yes.
Have you been in group chats on IG?
Yes.
Right. Have you been in group chats or had DMs on IG with Jeffrey Williams?
Yeah.
What was his Instagram name?
What is his Instagram name?
Mm-hmm.
Jeffrey. I don't know. What's his Instagram name now? You said what was it then?
Yeah. When you were communicating with him using your IG, what?
I think it's Thugger.
Is it Thugger Thugger or something else?
I think it's Thugger. I think that's his Instagram name right now.
Have you ever used the handle Thugger Thugger 1?
I think. You said, have I ever used it?
Have you ever messaged him using that handle Thugger Thugger 1?
Yeah, I think so.
Trontavious Stevens or Tick, did you ever IG him? Or direct messages him?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Do you recall what his Instagram handle was?
I don't remember by heart.
Have you ever heard of the handle?
See, this is crazy to me because Tick's Instagram has been introduced by Tick, who was already on the stands, right? So this is just, you know, to me, this is where they should be jumping up and down and doing all them 403 motions. But I'm just gonna go on.
IG or direct message him on Instagram?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. And was his Instagram at real1_FR?
Yeah.
Okay. And what about Demikion Garlington? Did you ever direct message him on Instagram?
From what I've seen in the indictment, yeah. But I don't remember his Instagram though.
Okay. And then Shannon Still, have you ever Instagram him or direct message him on Instagram? Excuse me.
Yes.
Okay. And do you recall sitting here what his Instagram handle was?
Not by heart.
Okay. Have you ever IG him on an Instagram handle, og.bool?
Yeah, I think so.
today, have you had the opportunity to look through or look at some of your Instagram records in preparation for your testimony today?
Yeah.
Man, this is just crazy.
Permission to approach Your Honor. You may. Or Mr. Sharp.
And I need her to approach.
30 NNA, 32 NN, 32 NNA, 33 NN, 33 NNA, 34 NN, 34 NNA, and 35 NNA. Are these items that we went over today?
Yeah, you showed me that.
Okay. And were they the items associated with your Instagram account, slimelife.shawty?
Yeah, from what these papers say.
Okay. And Your Honor, this time say would like to tender states with 30 NN to 35 NNA. 30 NN and 30 NNA through 35 NN and 35 NNA into evidence.
Your Honor, may I approach briefly?
You may.
All right, so we got people approaching. This is the moment.
Your Honor, say would like to tender 30 NN and NNA through 35 NN and NNA into evidence.
All right, those are admitted without objection.
I'm going to approach again.
You know, I'm sitting here just watching her separate these papers.
We're getting ready to do that. I'm going to show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 36 NN, 37 NN, 38 NN, and 39 NN. Yes, you keep. Did you see those earlier today as well?
Yeah.
You know?
I said yeah.
Okay. And first, looking at 36 NN, do you recognize the people in that photo?
Yes.
And does that appear to be a fair and accurate depiction of the people who are in that photograph?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Now I'll show you 37 NN. Do you recognize the person that's inside of 37 NN?
Yeah.
Looking at 38 NN, do you recognize the person in 38 NN?
You said I recognize who?
The person standing next to you in 38 NN.
Yeah, I see him.
Okay. And does that appear to be a fair and accurate depiction of you and the person standing next to you in 38 NN?
Yeah.
And 39 NN, do you recognize the individuals in that photograph, 39 NN?
Yeah.
And how did you recognize? Excuse me, is that a fair and accurate depiction of the people inside of 39 NN?
Can you repeat that?
Does that look or appears to be a fair and accurate depiction of the individuals inside of 39 NN?
Yeah.
All right. Your Honor, this time the state would like to admit 36 through 39 NN.
Those are admitted.
And I'm going to first show you State's Exhibit 36 NN. Who is in this picture in 36 NN?
Me and Shane.
And was this photo taken in October of 2020 or was this photo taken at a different time?
I don't know when it was taken. I just see when he posted.
All right. And earlier we talked about Instagram pages. Is this Mr. Stillwell's Instagram page?
I think so.
All right. And can you read for the jury what the caption says?
Fuck the other side. Put him on TV about my dog.
You got to slow down because
Yo, this is so funny. This is funny because these are the lyrics to his song that are up here.
reporter is taking it down.
Go ahead and read it. Just read it a little bit more slowly.
Fuck the other side. Put him on TV. It's about my dogs. Soldier reads bloody teeth. Glock with bean about my dog. Cause a scene about my dog. I'm going too fast.
Yes. Go ahead. Slow it down. I know you want to rap it, but slow it down.
Where you want me to start at?
You can start from the beginning.
Yeah, again? F the other side. Put them on TVs about my dogs. Soldieries, bloody tees, glocks with beams about my dogs. Clear the scene about my dog. If we F with them, you can't F with me. No, he is not my dog.
Now, it's at this
That's it.
moment that I realized that Slime Life Shorty is pretty smart because he's intuitive enough to tell her that he's stopping at the end of his part. He don't know about the other part.
So keep going. Keep reading the rest of it.
The rest of it is not my song.
Okay, so the first portion is your song.
Yeah.
All right. But why don't you read the rest of the post stuff for me?
So this to me sounds like when he debriefed with his attorney must have led him to believe that he would only be talking about things specific to him. And I think that's why you see the hesitation in him moving forward. Because this is but this is something that you catch later on.
Even if our position ever come down to being back to back, that's just how we're gonna rock out against whoever with you.
All right. And are there some hashtags?
No slime left behind.
All right. And is that an emoji next to that hashtag?
It looked like a crazy emoji. I never seen that.
Okay. What's the next hashtag?
2 B's.
Do you know what that signifies?
Big business.
All right. And what else does the rest of it say?
Many more blessings and riches, I say.
And is someone tagged?
I don't know who that is. Oh, there's somebody who made some clothes.
All right.
Real feel. I don't know who that is.
Okay. And what else does the rest of the post say for the record?
Thank you for this exclusive ass hat and for this crazy ass one of none hoodie.
And then someone else tagged?
Somebody named Marilyn is totally responsible.
Okay. And when was this post posted?
2020.
All right. Now, the verse that you quoted, your verse, what song is that from?
Dang, I forgot about it.
Lady, hurry up.
Dang, I don't even remember.
He don't remember.
I really don't. I think, is it Where Love At?
And was that a song that came out before 2020 or in 2020?
It probably came out in.
Why we didn't hear about this song when you had your person up there with her musicology? Why we didn't hear about that song then?
2020.
Okay. And in looking at this picture, do you know where you and Mr. Stillwell were when you took
At
it?
the studio.
All right. And do you have a particular studio that you used to go to?
No.
Okay. Where was this studio located?
I can't remember by heart, but it looked like geez, I don't remember.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I remember.
All right, that's fine. Of course, indulge one moment.
Oh, this is not good. This is not good.
Ms. Westmoreland. What does no slime left behind mean?
I think that's just what it means. No slime left behind.
I'm going to show you what's the mark is 37 and admitted.
Oh, that was my mixtape name. That's why he put the hashtag. He was supporting my mixtape.
Your mixtape was No Slime Left Behind.
Yes.
What made you name your mixtape No Slime Left Behind?
Like the No Child Left Behind thing. That's in school.
Okay.
I just named it that. No Slime Left Behind.
And when you were talking about
This is the only case where we've seen that a lot of children were left behind.
who were you referencing anyone particular?
No, not nobody in particular. No, I just wanted to be different. I just named it that.
We're going to publish 37 and N. Who is in 37 and N?
OG Boo. OG Boo.
And who is that?
Shannon.
All right. And can you read for the jury the caption?
Read his caption.
Yes.
It said, ain't nothing more compatible than a trench. A carbon while in the trenches.
And then is there a hashtag?
Hashtag no slime left behind. Hashtag 2Bs. Life size.
Okay. And is there another hashtag?
Free Quay.
Is there another hashtag on the screen?
Oh no.
Your Honor.
It's in this paper
Your
right here.
Honor.
Got me reading.
Your Honor, I have to make a motion.
All right, I'm going to excuse
I wasn't looking at the screen. I was looking at this paper.
It's fine, don't worry about it.
Now, I want y'all to hear these arguments that come up. Because in Mo's world, I find them to be nice tries, but let's listen. And I'm just annoyed that we now got this double monitor here. I'm just annoyed.
Behalf of Mr. Nichols, we're not going to be able to unring this bell, Your Honor. This is the exact same issue that while we were at the bench, I brought it up. It was Exhibit 37NN, that there was a hashtag on that exhibit that said Free Quay, which would definitely indicate.
Yes, she talked to her before she put the the picture up. She definitely, and you hear Hilton saying, Miss Westmoreland, you hear her acknowledging her as well.
To the jury that Quay, has spent time in jail or in prison. The state agreed. We stipulated that they would redact it, and then the state presented, I guess, to the witness the unredacted version. Didn't prep him to not comment on it, and he did. And Your Honor, before we had the opportunity for you to preside over us, this happened already again. And I made a motion for a mistrial.
Now, I like the way Miss Westmoreland speaks, right? Because she's like, before we gave you the opportunity to preside over us, right? These are subtle threats. She's very particular about the words she uses. I just want to take you back because, if you've been watching me for years, I said it's power in the tongue. Words are powerful. So let me just take it back a notch.
For mistrial on behalf of Mr. Nichols, we're not going to be able to unring this bell, Your Honor. This is the exact same issue that while we were at the bench, I brought it up. It was Exhibit 37NN, that there was a hashtag on that exhibit that said Free Quay, which would definitely indicate to the jury that Quay, has spent time in jail or in prison. The state agreed. We stipulated that they would redact it, and then the state presented, I guess, to the witness the unredacted version. Didn't prep him to not comment on it, and he did. And Your Honor, before we had the opportunity for you to preside over us, this happened already again. And I made a motion for a mistrial. Now it's happened again. So now the jury has repeatedly heard about Mr. Nichols being in jail, being in prison, and you cannot unring that bell. We would ask for a mistrial.
Your Honor, Carter Matthews for Mr. McQueen. We join in that motion for mistrial. And what's important for this court to know is that 45 minutes ago, there had been a reference to a person being in jail.
Hold on a second. I got music coming by.
This witness has identified Marquavius Huey and has also identified Marquavius Nichols. So all the state had to do was ask this honorable court for an opportunity to have this witness maybe step out of the courtroom and go over with that witness that, we don't need to say anything about someone in jail, what have you. That did not happen before he went on the stand, nor after that first slip up by this witness. There may have even been a document right there on the witness stand that should have been pulled from the state of.
Sorry, let me tell you why Harvey didn't make the motion. Harvey wasn't there. You could just see Harvey walking in. I'm sorry. I just want you to pay attention to, do you see an arrow back here? Pay attention to the back of the courtroom. When you see Miss Westmoreland stand up to do her objection, Harvey is not there. He comes in after the fact. So she was just on her game. She was just annoyed.
Is that, we don't need to say anything about someone in jail, what have you. That did not happen before he went on the stand, nor after that first.
See him running in? That's Harvey. He came in from these doors back there. He's coming into the court.
Slip up by this witness. There may have even been a document right there on the witness stand that should have been pulled from the state of Georgia from that witness stand so that this could have been avoided. So, Your Honor, we are joining in that motion as well.
Oh, hang on. It's all right. You just didn't know, but we'll let you know when to come back in.
Now, I heard something earlier. Do y'all need more of this? Because, wait a second. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Y'all
We
do.
join in that motion, Your Honor.
Your Honor, and I just want to briefly add that it is painfully obvious that the state is not prepping their witnesses. You can tell by the way when the witness spoke the first time and he said, oops, am I not supposed to say that? Like, oh, I had no idea, which makes it obvious that the state had not spoke to him, had not prepped them, and this has happened repeatedly. It's happening over and over again, Your Honor, and we're just not going to be able to unring 100 bells.
And finally, Your Honor, Mr. Marquavius, we all have, it's been established that that his nickname is Quay.
Okay, isn't there going to be, I mean, we talked today about, isn't there going to be a stipulation that references to Quay, at least at some points, are not either Mr. Nichols or Mr. Hughes?
I think that's very important. She said, didn't we talk about earlier? Because as people are editing this video out and pushing this, hey, hit me with some more likes, you guys. The reason why people are so outraged is because the snippets from this court encounter is going to have people just hearing the judge making a suggestion later on that they put together that stipulation when they already discussed the stipulation earlier. And this is going to bite I'm going to call it Paige in this instance. This is going to bite Paige because she was so enthusiastic about having her little sidebars where nobody could hear what was going on. Lady, if you get to come back and finish this case, right? Well, let me say it this way. If and when you get to come back and finish this case, you need to put your sidebar conversation on the record. I'm sorry, jurors, you're going to have to stand up and go take a walk to the other room. Y'all need some exercise anyway, because none of this would happen and the public would have a true account of what's going on. We're seeing part of the picture. We're not seeing all of the picture. So when there's no confidence in the system, there's no confidence because the system is still shutting us out. The system is cheating. When all the cards in the deck are stacked for you, why must you cheat? What's for you? Can't nothing come against you, right? But these people, they're not confident because they're running around here in false pretense, false messaging. And that's one of the biggest issues. These arguments from Monica's perspective, right? And this is me taking my look at this and my knowledge that I have. These were weak arguments by the defense. They were not strong arguments. They're going to point out, what she could have did, how she could have handled her witness and all this other stuff. Okay, you get a bite at him on cross-examination. But I still contend that they was already mad at her. That's why you hear Westmoreland saying to her, we gave you the opportunity to preside over us. Now, this is when you have to take a step back and listen to the players around here. If I was a judge, right, and this is what happened to Glanville, right, they start to look at these people like, wait a minute, who y'all think y'all talking to? It's disrespect going on in this room. And I know that people are frustrated. I think some of these people around here should have took some. Let me just say that. I think some people should have taken pleas, but let's talk about plea negotiation. Can I stop here or tell me which direction y'all want to go in? But I do want to opine on if there's going to be a mistrial. I don't feel like there's going to be a mistrial based on this. And I feel like the judge already ruled, I'm not giving you a mistrial with prejudice. And I think it opened the door to negotiate further plea negotiations because we're not in the room. And I'm sure people, this is why I kept saying all these defendants don't work together, right? They're still their own individual entity because it's each one individually that's going to have to serve the time. And if you looked at this process right now, you might not have confidence in it. Thug gets to walk out of this any which way, as long as he didn't request a mistrial, he's getting to walk out of this with his acquittal because he had a right to a speedy trial. They done been through I don't know how many cycles so or terms or whatever. So he definitely has been past his term. So he's gonna walk away from this. He walks away acquitted. The question is, as he walks away, how does that impact the rest of them that are sitting over there eating off of his reputation? There is a part of Hilton's silly argument here that would lead you to believe that she intentionally did this.
We did.
Yes, Your Honor, and that's a few things. So one, Your Honor, it was not intentional because we clearly.
Okay, but it was sloppy because I presume he's reading from the document that you handed him instead of reading.
All right, I'm just going to rewind it because Hilton and Hilton is somebody else's daughter that I did not like. See, I don't have a daughter that talks back to me ever. Hilton is that person that talked back to every elder. She is no respecter of her elders. So she has no respect for authoritative figures. And the judge is an authoritative figure. And if you have respect for the court, so you know the candor of the court is out the window with some of these people, but respect for the court system is out the window for Hilton. And this is not the first time. This will not be the last time because this is how she governs. Eric Brown just came in here. He's not a person that watches trials. And thank you for your support. He comes in as a layman. Let me go back to his comments in the room. And he says, is this where's the one? Is she badgering the witness? He's a lay person that doesn't watch trials. And he's picking up that this is badgering. Crazy. Here we go. And I want y'all to listen to Hilton's argument because she's going to make this nonsensical statement about the quays because she knows this ain't the third quay. This is one of the quays in the room. She definitely knows this. So this is definitely intentional on her part. What the judge probably told Fanny Pants over there, Fonnie, is that guess what? I'm shutting this down. I'm shutting this down. Y'all gonna have to rest y'all case or do something because this is getting shut down all the way down. And so she goes into this negotiation mode with people, and this is the wrong time to negotiate. I'm just sorry. I'm just like, this is when you're running scared and you go to negotiate. If you thought you was winning, you stay all in it. But see, these attorneys also know that as I've read the document for myself, the indictment, there are things that are in the overt acts that can be proven as a fact because they already either pled to them or served time for them. So they are already strikes against them. They're automatically in the category of it's a RICO. You can't take a factual thing that you was convicted of something, which is a fact, and give it to somebody and tell them they determine the fact that if that happened, it's a fact. All of this argument is coming out before they write the limiting instructions that are going to now be on the record, omitting people's records, past criminal bad acts. Their certification that they are that they are convicted of a felony.
Mr. Nichols or Mr. Huey, we did.
Yes, Your Honor, and that's a few things. So one, Your Honor, it was not intentional because we clearly.
Okay, but it was sloppy because I presume he's reading from the document that you handed him instead of reading from the screen.
And we should have instructed him to read from the screen, but.
Or you should have presented him with a document that had that part redacted.
issue-
It's just sloppy.
The issue came while he was on the stand, Your Honor. So the issue did not come prior to. Ms. Westmoreland walked up to me while he was on the stand and said, "I'm going to have an issue with that. Can you redact it?" That is when the state became aware.
Then it should have occurred to you, you know what, I'm handing him a hard copy of this document that is unredacted.
But not if there's multiple quays, Your Honor. If I don't know which quay that.
Hang on. Can we stop having people come in and out when I've asked the witness to step out and every time the door opens, they can hear what we're talking about? Please, just for a few seconds. I'm not asking anybody who's in here to leave. God have mercy, y'all. Huh?
The state is in charge of the witness, and they're supposed to be guiding the witness to the room.
Yeah, I mean, there seems to be.
And so that is the point in which we learned of it is we redacted it on here. Ms. Westmoreland brought it up here.
Yeah,
when
and you didn't read it. I mean, so the jury
said-
didn't see it, but now the jury has heard it. I don't think it is really that, much of a crisis because there is going to be this stipulation that Quay is not always either of these defendants. So, nor is it obvious to everybody that free whomever is such a quote about who knows, everything these days. And so it doesn't necessarily indicate that whomever Quay spent time in jail or in custody or in prison or anything. I mean, they say it about, Hollywood stars who are in a breakup. I mean, it's not so obviously, oh, this must mean this person was in prison. But also, we were already saying Quay isn't either of these people. So let's just, and whether this was one of these people or I don't even know who it did refer to.
And we don't know because it's not his post. He was reading someone else's post. So it could be a multitude of quays.
You talked to his attorney earlier, right?
Yes.
And did you get any kind of an indication? I don't know if this was one of the things you were going to, but it's an issue now. And you said before lunch that you were going to ask Mr. Rubin.
Yes, we did ask.
Do you know at this point whether the free Quay referenced, this wasn't even his post, was it?
It wasn't, and it wasn't an issue until Mr. West. So when I talked to Mr. Rubin at lunchtime, this wasn't something I was going to address with him because it wasn't I did not realize it was an issue. Mr. Rubin found out for me that Slat Quay is not either of these two quays.
Okay, but this isn't Slat Quay.
Point. Mr. Rubin is Slime Shorty, whatever the hell heck his name is, Slime Life Shorty attorney. So she ain't speaking to the client. She's only speaking to the attorney. That's number one.
Okay, this is just Quay.
Right.
I know. So why doesn't everybody, well, they don't know how it's spelled. They only heard it. Why doesn't everybody just enter into some sort of a stipulation that the free Quay
Now people are playing it from this point of what the judge said and saying that she's biased when actually earlier in the proceedings they were supposed to do this. So she should have restated this differently. She should have said, as we discussed earlier,
or the reference to Quay just now isn't either of these people.
I don't know if it is, so it was.
Whether it.
Okay, now the reason why Hilton cannot stipulate is because she knows otherwise and something would be a lie. This would be an example of the plea deal with Monton. That's why she can't stipulate. But I'm going to say this. I do believe that I do believe that in the middle of a trial like this, defendant, people on co-defendants can take pleas and be released from the trial itself, and the jurors who have they got the brain that moves all around. They just forget stuff, right? They just been told to forget this. Forget Woody even came up here for a whole month or whatever and come back, forget Woody testified for 7 days and you took a vacation. We took a vacation for 3 to 6 weeks during the summer. And you can forget everything that you heard then and just come back, give me your books, and we'll just start all over again. So they can forget that, I guess, Ryan, I guess the issue would have been Ryan, and definitely that Nichols wanted out. Period. He's been asking, and to be honest, Nichols, Nichols, right, which is Westmoreland's client, he wanted to be severed every time they was up here making their their motions. They wanted to be severed in the first place. So don't think that these are all going to be pleased. I would have to see what the bottom line said. But she definitely said she was willing to take a mistrial. So I think in lieu of giving her a mistrial, they probably just gave her they probably just gave them or would offer them a severance or a plea. And since people were joining people on this because of the Harvey rule, which is going to be interesting because if Nicholas leaves, there might not be a Harvey rule anymore. And I see this stuff could be hard for Stillwell. I could see, so people, and another attorney somewhere, I heard his take on this earlier today, and he said that because of the Harvey rule, they may be able to make an argument that due to the fact that Thug has a speedy trial, if there is a mistrial, and they were all going under the Harvey rule, that also would apply, that the mistrial was connected to all of the defendants. But I bet you it's only going to be the ones on the label come standing when Thug walks out. If we're to believe that the Harvey rule, which they're under right now, is going to apply to all of them, and it should apply also to the speedy trial request. However, I went in today and I looked at the speedy trial after the person said that. I went back in and I looked at the speedy trial, and it specifically states that you need to file your own individual request or demand for a speedy trial. So I'm not sure that the Harvey rule would be applicable. So any questions or concerns coming out of the chat before I go? I think I said a mouthful, and I think I was able to get my points across that I wasn't able to really express earlier in the little bit of time that I had. Doug did file for the speedy trial. Doug has a speedy trial. He's the only one. And when I went back and I read, I think it's section 17 something of the code, it specifically states that you need to have your own motion. You have to have a separate motion demanded, and it must state demand for speedy trial. So I don't know how the Harvey rule would apply, but this is YouTube lawyers, YouTube commentators, they're spreading all of this type of conversation out here. So I'm just evaluating what they're putting out there. And then I'm coming back to you and telling you what my findings are and what my beliefs are based on what I found. That's what somebody said. But I'm telling you that I went back to the statute itself, and the statute says you need to file your own. It's not even supposed to be like put inside of a plea where you're asking for something else. It's supposed to be its own independent document. So I don't know how that would be applicable to the other defendants. But if you only got 3 people that you need to put that on, I guess you would put that on. This decedent putting Mariah the liar on the stand this week and walking us through this elimination of a person's life, right? Was eye awakening to me. I heard you. I always do. It's why I never talk harshly or without a smile. I enjoy perspectives to be more aware because I've learned to be to be effective in law. You must always hear first and speak second. That's the craziest thing here, right? It's one of the tools of being in the profession is really sharpening being a good listener. Working in law requires you to be a good listener. And even for these attorneys sitting inside the courtroom, if you look at Steele, you don't see them like, especially Steele. I don't want to talk about most other people, but I want to talk about Steele specifically. He's listening to everything that's being said and everything that's going down because he is working on behalf of his client. And he understands that you need to take in the information. You need to be on your A game every single day. You need to be present and you need to be present and in the moment. Him, Adams, always ponytail back there, he ain't playing with them. And if his client severs himself from this trial, be it by plea or otherwise, the one thing that will be for certain about him is that his team will be missed from the equation because he comes in with a plethora of experience, legal experience and know-how. Anyway, those of you who've got your membership in Dear Woke Christian, I will see y'all in our members only live stream later on tonight. I'll be in the chat. I'll be inside the chat because I am not messing with you people anymore. Every detail does matter. Every moment counts. Little Rod, his representation, that whole thing with those 2 ladies. Yeah, the Harvey, like it, Harvey, I remember listening to what's the guy's name? Little D. Quiet. When his dad did the interview, his dad said, "Yo, those were the ponytail attorneys. Everybody had them." Like it was no joke in that courtroom. And I'm not going to minimize Matthews, but personally, if I was Team Matthews, I want out of there when Huey showed up on camera pushing around the garbage can inside of the jail. And I'm not going to speak on Huey's family being arrested because I think they're just collateral damage. Personally, I think they got wrapped up in supporting Huey. But I would definitely want out of this trial and be standing up and making an argument that made no sense. because that's the one time I felt like Matthew's argument didn't really make sense. And if you can see the exit in front of you, you take it. And he said he joined in on that motion to dismiss, the motion for a mistrial. I'm already at a motion to dismiss, but a motion to a mistrial. So that was interesting. Last but not least, I think that's where I'm gonna. I think that's where I'm gonna end. Like I said, I check all of you folks out. People, if you, I know a lot of folks are getting to know me for the first time. I'm a straight shooter. I'm out the mud. Like I can't tell you any. I can't. I can't tell you. I can only show you. Been on this YouTube now for 7 years, and I done seen some stuff around here, and done been into some stuff around here. And I don't want to repeat my mistakes. But I have learned, I just learned to be humble. And I appreciate that you've taken the time to join me in this conversation about how I see this unfolding. But one thing that I want you to know is that you are a critical thinker, and you can come and draw your own conclusions from this case. And the only thing I ask you to do is stand your ground. When you see something, you say something, speak up, support it with facts. Come back and show people what it is that you're talking about. Every conversation that we have doesn't have to be an argument, but just be prepared to talk about the facts in real time. Make the real connection. Argue your point. I respect different opinions, and I want people to respect mine as well. So thank you very much for your time and attention, and I'll check all you guys out when I'm hanging out in the backyard places. See ya. I gotta get out of here.